Yes, paper number 30. Now in this paper number 30, question numbers 1 to 5. Now in this question numbers 1 to 5 in this paper number 30, there are 8 persons. Paper number 30, there are 8 persons, A, F, D, H, B, G, E, C in a family, and all of them are seated around a circular table. 3 of them are not facing the center. 3 of them are not facing the center means 3 are facing away from the center and the remaining 5 are facing towards the center. And each one of them likes a different country. And each one of them like different countries. Those are Australia, America and so on, 8 different countries. Then this is a combination of what? This is a combination of circular arrangement along with blood relation. Then A is the grandfather of a person who likes America. As A is a grandfather, this A comes into the first generation. There are 3 generations in this one. And B is the son-in-law. B is the son-in-law of this one. Total 3 generations are there. How many generations do we have? We have some 3 generations. As we have some 3 generations in this one, and first generation, their children and their children. Then A is the grandfather of the person who likes America. B is the son-in-law of the person who likes Canada. B is the son-in-law of the person who likes Canada and is seated opposite to the father of H. H is the sister-in-law of the person who likes England. Now one brother-in-law is there, one sister-in-law is there, isn't it? Son-in-law is there, and at the same time. And likes England and she is seated second to the right of C. D likes Brazil and she is the only daughter of the person who likes to visit Australia. And E is the wife of the person who likes Denmark. As E is the wife of the person who likes Denmark, G is the grandson of the person who likes Canada. And G is the grandson of the person who likes Canada. Grandson of the person who likes Canada means the person who likes Canada must be in the first gender, isn't it? And Canada is the first gender and next one. And Denmark. E is the wife of the person who likes Denmark. G is the grandson. B is the brother-in-law of C and he is facing away. A is the father-in-law of the person. A is the father-in-law, that is clearly given. Hence A comes into the first generation and along with A, who also comes into the first generation, E comes into the first generation, isn't it? Why? Because and China, and there are only 3 generations in this one, sitting opposite to the son-in-law and son. Now a son-in-law is there, daughter-in-law is there, and to that person A, isn't it? Hence as this person A, then person who likes Canada is the mother-in-law. Mother-in-law is there, Canada is the mother-in-law, and Denmark, hence these 2 persons are married to each other. It should be the first generation, see here. And person who likes Canada is the mother-in-law of H. As D is the mother-in-law of H, now here. And this is how the relation between these persons can be identified here. Now the person who likes Canada, Canada is what? The person who likes Canada is a female. And this person got married to the person who likes Denmark, isn't it? And Denmark is what? Denmark is A. Now this person, to this family, there is 1 son and 1 daughter. How do we confirm this one? There is 1 son and 1 daughter. Because to this one, to this person, father-in-law, there is 1 son-in-law and there is 1 daughter-in-law, isn't it? As there is 1 son-in-law and 1 daughter-in-law, hence there must be 1 son and 1 daughter. At the same time, grandson is there, granddaughter is there, and the remaining 2 persons must be in the 3rd generation, isn't it? Hence how many do we have? We have some 8 persons. Then coming to this one, A is the grandfather. As A is the grandfather, this A must be Denmark. A is the grandfather of the person who likes America. And the person who likes America must be in the 3rd generation, isn't it? 3rd generation. And B is the son-in-law of the person who likes Canada. B is the son-in-law of the person who likes Canada means B must be here. B is the son-in-law of the person who likes Canada. Next one. And He is seated opposite to the father of C, and this person is seated opposite to the father of C, and this C must be either here or in the third gender, and opposite to the father of C. H is the sister-in-law of the person who likes England. H is the sister of the person who likes England, and where should this H? H is the sister-in-law. H can be either here or H can be here. There are two possibilities. H is the sister of the person who likes England, and C is seated second to the right of C, and this H is seated second to the right of C. D likes Brazil, and she is the only daughter of the person who likes to visit Australia. And now this D likes Brazil. As this D likes Brazil means this D must be, where should this D? D must be in the third gender. Why D must be in the third gender? Because C is the daughter. This D is the only daughter of the person who likes to visit Australia. Now in the first gender, Australia is not there. As Australia is not there, Australia, the person who likes to visit Australia, and that person's daughter is there. And this Australia must be in the second generation. Are you following this one or not? Hence either this person belongs to second gender or this person Australia. Then D must be where? D must be in the third gender. D is in the third generation, and G is the grandson. D and G comes into the third gender, isn't it? And D and G. Out of which G is the grandson and D is granddaughter. And this person is what? This person D likes to visit Brazil. Whether these two persons are siblings to each other or they are the cousins to each other, no information given, isn't it? And G is the grandson of the person who likes Canada. B is the brother-in-law of C. As B is the brother-in-law of C, C must be here. B is the brother-in-law of C, and he is facing away from the center. B is facing away from. A is the father-in-law of the person who likes China. A and he is, and he is seated in between the persons of his daughter-in-law and son. A is the father-in-law of the person who likes China, and the person who likes China must be either B or this person, isn't it? Either B or this person. Then B is the brother-in-law of C and is facing away from the center. A is the father-in-law of the person who likes China, and in the second gender, here the person America must be here. G is America, and all the remaining four persons must be in the second. The countries must be in the second gender. What are those? China is one, Australia is the other, isn't it? And he is sitting between the person of his daughter-in-law and son. Daughter-in-law and son. That means seated in between C and daughter-in-law. F is the daughter of the one who likes to visit Canada. F is the daughter of the one who likes Canada, hence F will be here. If F is here, then H will be here. And H is here. Now, who are the persons done? A, B and C, D and F. And so whatever is E must be here, and this person is the person who likes to go to Canada. F is the daughter of the one who likes Canada. F is the daughter of the one who likes Canada. And person who likes Canada is the mother-in-law of H. Mother-in-law of H. And we have taken that information, mother-in-law of H. D is to the immediate left of her mother's brother. And D is to the immediate left of her mother's brother. Her mother's brother is C, and D is to the immediate left of C. And person who likes to visit Canada is opposite to the person who is to the immediate neighbor of D. Person who likes Sri Lanka is seated third to the left of G from here onwards, and the seating arrangement. The next one. And the niece in the persons like Sri Lanka, the niece in the family and daughter-in-law in this family are facing away from the center. Tell me how many persons are facing away from the center? There are three persons who are facing away from the center. Who are those three? Three persons. One is the niece in the family. Niece in the family means who is that person? D. And the niece in the family. And who are the other? And daughter-in-law in this family. Who is the daughter-in-law? H. D is away from the center. H is away from the center. And B is the brother-in-law. B is the brother-in-law of C, and he is away from the center. Hence, how many persons are away? There are three persons who are away from the center. As there are three persons who are away from the center, now let us finalize their positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, what about this B? Now, I am fixing this B at this place. Now this B is away from the center. Clear now? As B is away from the center, then let us discuss this information once again. A is the grandfather of the person who likes America. B is the son-in-law of the person who likes Canada. And he is seated opposite to the father of C. Now who is seated opposite to the father of C? Now this person. B is the son-in-law, the person who likes Canada. B is opposite to C. Now B is opposite to whom? B is opposite to father of C. As B is opposite to father of C, who is the father of C? A. Hence this B is opposite to A. Now tell me whether A is facing the center or away from the center? Facing. Why? Because three persons are away. Who are those three? D, H and B are away from the center. And this A is facing towards the center. Now B, D and H are the persons who are away from the center. H is the sister-in-law of the person who likes England. H is the sister-in-law of the person who likes England. And who is the person from England here? F is the person from England. Isn't it? And H is the sister-in-law of the person who from England. That means the person from England is F. F's brother is C. Brother's wife is H. H is the sister-in-law of the person who likes England. And C is seated second to the right of C. And H is seated second to the right of C. H is seated second to the right of C. Now tell me whether this C is facing away or towards the center. C is center. H is second to the left. H is away. Sister-in-law. And she is seated second to the right of C. D likes Brazil. And she is the only daughter of the person who likes to visit Australia. Now this B is only person of the person who likes Australia. Hence where should this D? D must be either B or C or H. As of now we cannot finalize this one. And likes Australia. E is the wife of the person who likes Denmark. G is the grandson of the person Canada. B is the brother-in-law of C. B is the brother-in-law of C and is facing away from the center. A is the father-in-law of the person who likes China. A is father-in-law of the person who likes China. Then this A is the father-in-law. China can be either this person or A is the person, and A is the father-in-law of the person who likes China. Father-in-law of the person who likes China. And he is. And he is means, and he is sitting between daughter-in-law and son. And he is means A is seated between daughter-in-law and son. And who is the daughter-in-law here? And this person is seated between H and son, H and C. And this A is seated in between H and C. As A is seated in between H and C, now this C is facing towards the center, H is facing away from the center. Follow avutunarani? This person A, who is the father-in-law, seated in between his son and the daughter-in-law. F is the daughter of the person who likes Canada. F is the daughter of the person who likes Canada. Person who likes Canada is the mother-in-law of H. Canada is the mother of H, mother-in-law. D is to the immediate left of her brother's mother's brother. D is to the immediate left of her C. That means D is to the immediate left of C. D must be here. Now this D is facing away from the center, isn't it? Now B, D and H are facing away from the center. All the remaining persons are facing towards the center. Done? D is the immediate left of her uncle. Person who likes to visit Canada is opposite the person to the neighbor of D. Person who likes to visit Canada is opposite to the person neighbor of D. And Canada is opposite to the person neighbor of D. Hence, who is the neighbor of D? Either C or this person. H cannot be Canada, hence E will be here. And neighbor of D is C, and C and E are opposite to each other because E is the person from Canada. Then, person like Sri Lanka is seated south to the left of G. And Sri Lanka is seated south to the left of G. As G is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is seated south to the left of G. And who are the persons left over here? A, B, C, D. E and F and G are the persons left over. And as F and G are the persons left over, both these persons are facing towards the center. And person like Sri Lanka is seated south to the left of G. G is here. isn't it? As G is here and G is here, seated third to the left of the person from Sri Lanka. Now here, see, third to the left of the person from Sri Lanka, then tell me who is the person from Sri Lanka? Either C, isn't it, or B is from Sri Lanka. But whereas from B, third to the left is not possible. Hence, who is the person from Sri Lanka? Then C is the person from Sri Lanka. As C is the person from Sri Lanka, hence G will be here. And G is seated. Person like Sri Lanka is seated third to the left of G. Third to the left of G, valid or not? Left hand side of G, this person C is seated third to the left. And C is the person from Sri Lanka. As C is the person from Sri Lanka, now we are left with what? Now we are left with G. Then Sri Lanka, the niece in the family. Niece in the family and facing away from the center. Now this is what the information we have. And whatever this China here, now this person G and this person D is what? And D is the person. Now this person D is having S. We are coming to one more important information here. Now this person D, who is from Brazil, D who is from Brazil, is the child of whom, tell me? Is the child of F and B only. Why? Because this D is having an uncle. Mother's brother is there. Mother's brother is there. That means D's mother is F. As D's mother is F, D is here. And this person is what? This person is the daughter of the person who likes to visit Australia. Hence B is Australia. And this H is China. Clear now? Then coming to this one. Whatever this E, now C is Sri Lanka and H is China, E is Canada, A is Denmark and F is England and B is Australia and B is Australia. Then what is the other information here? Then now D is, now whatever this D, D is the daughter of this F and B. Then whatever this G here, now this G could be either the son of F and B or could be the son of C and H. No information given about this person. In either of these two cases, this G is the grandson and this person is America. And this is the final arrangement. Then who is the person left over here? The person who is left over is F. F will be at this place. Done with this? Now in total how many persons do we have? 8 persons seated around a circular table. 3 are away from the center and the remaining 5 are facing towards the center. Now we have started from where? Now we have started from those persons who are away from the center. We have B, D and H are the 3 persons away. Write down this information. And this is about question numbers 1 to 5. Then 6 to 8. Done. Coded inequalities. Now, if any statement is of the form, first one, at the rate of E and F. At the rate of E and F means, and this E is smaller than D. Isn't it? E is lesser than D. Shall I work one? 6 to 8? No. As question number 6 in this one, then write down this final arrangement. Then in question number 6, at the rate of E and F, this at the rate of comes under which category? This category. That means E is lesser than F. E lesser than F. Next one at the rate of U lesser than F. U is lesser than F. Next one U at the rate of. At the rate of at the center, C is neither smaller nor greater. That means it is equal to. That means U equals to D. U equals to D. And the next one BD at the rate of. BD at the rate of means B is greater than D. Now this B is greater than D. Now this is what the statements we have. And with the help of this one, first conclusion. BE at the rate of means B greater than E, whether that is true or not. And the second one, at the rate of E and D. At the rate of stands for what? Lesser than. And E is lesser than D. Now statements followed by 2 conclusions. Then, now let us try to represent this one. And U is lesser than F. And U equals to D, D and U. And B greater than D. B greater than D, D equals to U, U lesser than F. And E is lesser than F. As E lesser than F, F is greater than E. E lesser than F, that is F is greater than E. Then by combining this one, B greater than E. Between B and E, 1 greater than and 1 lesser than, two opposite symbols, hence that is false. And between E and D, D is here, E is here. Between these two, what is your answer here? Between these two, E and D. E and D, and E is what? E is lesser than D. E lesser than D is again false, because between D and E, 1 lesser than, 1 greater than. This is again false. Then what is your answer here? Neither 1 nor 2, and it is choice 4. Clear? Is this clear, or any doubts in this one? Can you work out the remaining questions in the same pattern? And 68. Then question numbers 9 to 13. Now question numbers 9 to 13, tell me how many of you had done this one, question numbers 9 to 13. Now in this question numbers 9 to 13, tell me what is the information given. There are 2 blocks in a building. Each block has how many floors? There are 6 floors. And this is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Yes, so how many of you have worked out this one, tell me. Now 6 blocks, and each block consisting of how many floors? There are 2 blocks in each building, block 1 and block 2. There are 2 blocks in a building, and now let us take this is block 1 and this is block 2, 2 blocks in a building, and each building has 6 floors and facing opposite to other block floors. Now these two are opposite to each other and so on. And total 12 persons in both blocks. In block A, persons are A, B, C, D, E and F are staying. Now in this one, A to F are the persons staying. And in block 2, and P, K, R, S, T, U. P, K, R, S, T, U are the persons staying in block 2. Now information clearly given. Who are the persons in block 1 and who are the persons staying in block 2. And everyone married to opposite floor persons. That means in total how many married couples? 6 married couples. Everyone married to opposite floor person, and everyone is practicing different topics in reasoning for competitive examinations. And those topics are of circle, table, directions and so on. Done with this? And persons who are practicing number analogy, tables, floors living in block B. Yes, who are the persons living in analogy, tables and floors are the persons living in block B. Block B. Tanvi is living opposite to Anvis. A and T are opposite to each other. Tanvi opposite to Anvis floor. One who practices floors living in even number floor. Floor is even number floor. Now this floor can be either 2, 4 or 6. Isn't it? Now the person who is practicing floors, questions on floors, is living in an even number floor, and the 2 in block 2. Hence, the person who is practicing in this floor arrangement must be second floor, fourth floor or second floor. Then, there are 2 floors between the one who practices statements and Rani. Now, between the persons who are practicing statements and Rani, there are exactly 2 persons. Uma living immediately above the floor of Savita. And Uma is living immediately above Savita, and Uma is living immediately above Savita. And Envy does not living opposite to the one who practices floors. Envy is not. Now Dhanush, who practices letter series, he is living opposite to the one who flow chart. Now the person who has done this flow chart will be either on the second floor, fourth floor or sixth floor, isn't it? Even number floor. And this Dhanush is opposite to the term. And he is living in even number floor which is below the floor of Faisal. And this person is living below Faisal, F's floor. Hence this Dhanush cannot be on the 6th floor. Are you following this one or not? Now so this is the main crucial information wherein we can come out of this puzzle. Now this, who is this person? Dhanush. Dhanush is opposite to whom? Opposite to the person who is working on floor arrangement. Now this Dhanush is on even number floor, and the person who is working on floor arrangement is also even number floor, isn't it? Either it could be 2, 4 or 6, but where this Dhanush is below this Faisal. As Dhanush is below this Faisal, hence Dhanush cannot be 6th floor and floor person is not on the 6th floor. And so how many possibilities do we have? 2 possibilities. What are those 2? Dhanush at this place and the person who is working on floor arrangement must be at this place. If this is the case, then next one. Huh? Both? Both these persons are married couples. Flow chart. Flow chart. So I have taken floor. Now this person, who is this person here? This person is flow chart. Now this D is a person who is working on flow chart. Then Dhanush, who practices ladder series, is living opposite the one who flow chart, and he is living on an even number floor, which is the floor of Faisal. And next one. And Faisal, one who practices flow chart, living 3 floors below the one who practices SN. Flow chart is 3 floors below. As floor chart is 3 floors below, is it possible? Not possible. Hence flow chart cannot be on the 4th one. As flow chart cannot be on the 4th one, and this flow chart must be on the 2nd one. Now if this is flow chart, and this person must be D. And below, 3 floors below SN, and this SN must be here or here in any order. Isn't it? SN is not fixed. And there are 4 persons between the floors of Savita and the one who practices ranking. And 4 floors between Savita and ranking. And ranking, where should this ranking be? This Savita and ranking must be on the 1st and the 6th floors only. And Savita is where? Savita is on here. As Savita is here, and Savita does not live below the one who practices flow chart. As Savita does not, and finally, now ascendant is here, and ranking is here. As ranking is here, and where should this Savita? Now this earlier one information is there regarding this Savita. Uma living immediately above the floor of Savita. That means Savita cannot be on the 6th floor. Are you following this one or not? Because Uma is living immediately above Savita. As Uma is living immediately above Savita, and Savita must be on the ground floor. If Savita is here, then Uma will be here. But whereas what is the other information here? Finally we got that Savita is on the ground floor. But whereas Savita living below to him, and Savita does not living below the one who practices flow chart. But as here, finally we have Savita is below the one who practices flow chart. Hence there is an error in this question itself. Below 3 floors. Below 3 floors and take cross them. There are 4 floors between ranking and Savita on the. There are 4 floors between ranking and Savita. Unda ledan. 4 floors and 2 ekkada undali 1 and 6 lone undali. Andro Savita cannot be on the top floor because there is Uma who is ahead of this person, and Savita must be on this one. If Savita is here, flow chart will be here. But as flow chart person, Savita is not staying immediately below the person who is living on the flow chart. That condition is invalid. Clear? And this is about 9 to 13. And there is an error in this one at all. అందుకే అడిగా ఎవరికైనా వచ్చిందా అనేసి. Next, now question numbers 14 and 15. Now in this question numbers 14 and 15, what is the information given? Tell me here 14 and 15. Now 14 and 15, these type of questions are based on data sufficiency. As 14th one, how is G related to B? How is this G related to B? L has 2 daughters. Now this L is having how many daughters? L is having 2 daughters. One of them is Y. Is married to whom? Is married to G. One of them is Y. Is married to G. Then, now how is G related to B? No information about B. Then condition number 2. Now here in this one there are 3 statements. As there are 3 statements, first we should always go through the individual statements. Individual statements were not there. then we should go for the combination. Now I am checking out for 1 and 2. 1 I have taken this one, second one. B is the mother of X. X is the youngest sister of Y. X is the youngest sister, hence here L has 2 daughters. And B is the mother of X. As B is the mother of X and Y, and B is a female, and this L is a male. How is this G related to B? B's daughter's husband, son-in-law. Are you getting the answer or not? Yes, 1 and 2 is sufficient to determine the answer. Then again check out the choices. If you check out the choices, 1 and 2, and 1 and either 2 or 3 is there. What do you mean by this either 2 or 3? 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. Now we should check out with the help of 3 also, 1 and 3 also, are we getting the answer or not? Then the first one, L has 2 daughters, one of them is Y, married to whom? Married to G. Third one, L is B's husband. As L is B's husband, L is B's husband, B is a female, L is a male. Then what about this one? This G is B's daughter's husband, again son-in-law. With the help of 1 and 2 I am getting the answer, 1 and 3 also I am getting the answer, that is 1 and either 2 or 3, choice 3 is the answer. Done? One and 2 or 1 and 3. Then next to question number 15. Now in this question number 15, on which day of the week did Renuka arrive? Her sister. Individual statements were not there, then we should go for 1 and 2. Her sister Tisha correctly remembered that she did not arrive on Wednesday. Wednesday ruled out on any one of the remaining 6 days. Her friend Meera correctly remembered that she arrived before Friday. Before Friday it could be either Thursday, Tuesday or Monday. 1 alone and 2 alone are not sufficient. Then coming to choice 3 and 2 and 3. If you check out this one, before Friday, mother remembers that before Friday, but after Tuesday. Before Friday but after Tuesday, it could be either Wednesday or Thursday. Now with the help of 2 and 3, we are getting that Wednesday or Thursday. Then, yes, hence 1 and 2, 2 and 3 are not sufficient. Then combining 1 and 3. Her sister, that she did not arrive on Wednesday, and Wednesday is ruled out. And according to 3, Wednesday or Thursday. Hence Wednesday is ruled out. Finally we are left with Thursday. Hence 1 and 3 is sufficient. Choice 3. Done with this? Choice 3 is the answer. 1 and 3 is sufficient to determine the day. Then question number 16 onwards is 16, 17 and 18. Now in this 16, 17 and 18, what is the information given here? Coding and decoding. Now in this coding and decoding, now minister visited America recently, and minister visited America recently and M. Now M is the first letter in the word minister and N. That means first letter plus 1 is the last letter. R is the last letter. R minus 1 Q is the first letter. Again V plus 1 W, D minus 1 C, A plus 1 B and A minus 1 Z, R plus 1 S, Y minus 1 X. Clear? And again children, C plus 1 D, N minus 1 M, E plus 1 F, N minus 1 M. And this is how the letters were given as the codes. Then coming to this symbols. Now in this symbol minister 8 letters and America visited is 7. Now visited is 7, America is 7. Hence these two are what? These two are percentage and percentage. And here minister is 8, recently is 8, hence 8 letter word. And what is the code? N. And for a 7 letter code, the code is percentage. The next one. Now in this children, 8 letter word, hence N. And in this one education, how many letters are there? 9. As there are 9 letters, and what is the symbol here? Dollar. 9 is dollar, and percentage means 7, and at the rate of means, what do you mean by this? At the rate of rural. Rural is 5. 5 letter word at the rate of. and person, 6-letter word. And what is the code given to this one? Hash. 6 is hash, skill is 5, hence at the rate of, and anytime is 7, percentage, and this is n, planning is 8, n. Natural, how many are there? 7, hence it is percentage, science 7, percentage, improve 7, percentage. Now in this one knowledge, how many letters are there? 3, 6, 9. 9 means it is dollar. And these questions are based on the same logic, question number 16 to 18. Done with this? Then 19 onwards. Now question numbers 19 to 22. Done, completed? Now 19 to 22, syllogisms. Chestara chepmantara. Chestara 19 to 22. Now 19 to 20. As 19, what is the answer? Tell me. No, sir. As there are possibilities are given in the conclusions, it is always advisable you to draw the diagram rather than directly going through the tick and cross method. Isn't it? Then in this one, now choice one if you observe here. In choice one, no is a negative conclusion. And when can we have a negative conclusion? Negative conclusion can be drawn only with the help of negative statement. But whereas in choice one, all the statements are affirmative, that is ruled out. Then coming to second one also all the statements are affirmative, hence we cannot have a negative conclusion with this. Hence 1 and 2 were ruled out. Then what about third one here? All greens, no mountain is height. No mountain is height. Height is there. Height should be as it is. Mountain should go and green should come. Hence green and mountain. Where is green and mountain? Green and mountain. Now if you combine these two, what happens here? Mountain is a middle term, isn't it? Hence this is tick and this is cross, and this is tick and tick, middle term distributed. Hence no green is height, no height is green, definitely true. Isn't it? Then coming to the first one, some heights are green. As some heights are green, how to derive this one? All green are, some heights are hills, some hills are water. Where is green? Some water. Then all green are mountains, the third one. All green are mountains, how to write this one? All green are mountains, all green are mountains, no mountain is height, no mountain is height, and some height are hills, some height are what? Some height are hills. Next one, some hills are water, some hills are water. Now with the help of this one, some heights are green, is it true? Height is here, green is here, no intersection, and this is also ruled out. And choice 3 is false. Isn't it? Then what about your choice 4? Now in choice 4, no mountain is water, no water is hill, no hill is this one. Isn't it? Hence for all this, 3 negative statements and only 1 affirmative statement. Some green are mountain means some mountain are green, that is the only thing what we can able to derive. And in order to derive any one of these 2 affirmative conclusions, this statement should be combined with the other statement. But if the remaining 3 are negative statements, as the remaining 3 are negative statements, there is only 1 affirmative statement. If you combine a negative and an affirmative, you have to get a negative conclusion. Hence these 2 conclusions cannot be drawn at all. This is also ruled out. Choice 5 is the answer. Done? Are you following this one or not? Yes, what is the key given to this one? 19? 19 2. Please check out, are you getting the answer with 2? No, not at all. Hence there is an error in this key as well. And this is about 19 to 22. Then 23 to 27. Yes, tell me how many of you have done this? 23 to 27. Now in this 23 to 27, there are 8 friends, A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, willing to go to tour, and all of them are seated around a circular table. And all these persons are seated around a circular table, 8 persons, and then sitting for a lunch in a straight line. Now 8 persons are, they are seated in a row for lunch and in a circular arrangement as well. Now the same type of question we have discussed in our target men's exam, isn't it? Class. Then combination of these two. To find out the seating arrangement in both the cases, some of them who are sitting in circle are facing away from the center, and persons who are facing away from the center are not adjacent to each other. Persons who are facing away from the center are not adjacent to each other, isn't it? Hence, in total, how many at the most, how many persons could be away from the center? At the most, we can have only 4 persons who are facing away, because no 2 persons who are facing away from the center are seated adjacent to each other. Either 4 persons or lesser than 4 persons are away from the center. Then, and no 3 persons who are facing the same direction are not sitting each other, isn't it? And no 3 persons who are facing the same direction are not sitting each other. That means the remaining persons who are facing towards the center, not more than 3 are facing towards the center. Clear? And persons who are seated in a straight line are facing towards north direction. Now persons who are seated in a straight line are facing towards north direction. Then coming to this one. F is seated third to the right of the one. F is seated third to the right of whom? F is seated third to the right of the one who is sitting second to the left of B. F is third to the right of the one, that person is seated second to the left of B in circle and sitting at one of the ends in a straight line. In straight line, F is what? F is at one of the ends. As all the persons in a straight line are facing towards the center, there are 2 possibilities for this one. F can be either at the right end or at the left end. F is seated third to the right of the one, who is seated second to the left of B in circle and seated at one of the ends in a straight line. G is seated second to the right of the one who is sitting to the immediate left of D, and he is seated second to the left of the one who is seated to the immediate right of B in a circle and straight line respectively. Now here 2 informations. What are those 2 information here? G is seated second to the right of the one who is seated to the immediate left of D. Who are the persons seated to the immediate left of D? To that person the G is seated second right. D ki immediate left evaraithe unnaro vaadiki second right lo G unnadu ansana indulo circle. And this is the first information regarding the circle. And straight line respectively means in the same order. The second statement is regarding the straight line. What is the second statement? And he is. He is means G is seated second to the left of the one, and he is seated second to the left of the one who is seated to the immediate right of B. And this G is seated second to the left, and this D is seated second to the left of the one who is seated to the immediate right of whom? G is, now I am talking about this G. Now this G is sitting second to the left of the one who is seated to the immediate right of B. Immediate right of B there is one person, and this D is seated second to the left of whom? D is seated, and this G must be here. Are you following this one or not? 1 minute. Now here G is, now whatever this G is seated second to the left of whom? G is seated second to the left of the one, seated second to the left of the one who is seated to the immediate right of B. Immediate right of B. Immediate right of B is this person, to this person G is to the immediate left. Sarvendra? And G is seated second to the left of this X, X is to the immediate right of B, and this G and B are adjacent to each other. Are you following this one or not? In the row arrangement, G and B are adjacent to each other. And C is third to the left of G. C is sitting third to the left of G. G who is seated to the immediate left of E in a straight line. Yes, in a straight line, tell me, whatever this C is third to the left of G. C is third to the left of G. G who is seated to the immediate left of E. Now this C is sitting third to the left of G, G who is sitting to the immediate left of E, G is seated to the immediate left of E in a straight line and circle respectively. Again, combination of two statements. What are the combinations here? C is seated third to the left of G. C is seated third to the left of G. This is in straight line. And in the square circle, and G is seated to the immediate left of E in a circle. G is to the immediate left of E in a circle. Clear now? Then, in a straight line and circle, D is seated to the immediate right of the one who is seated second to the left of F, but not in circle. But not in circle, there is a person who is seated second to the left of F. As there is a person who is seated second to the left of F, the second case is not possible because F himself is at the left hand, isn't it? Hence, F must be at the right hand only. Then coming to this one. As F is at the right hand, D is seated to the immediate right of the one who is seated second to the left of F. Second to the right of F is this one, and this D is to the immediate right. Hence, D must be at this place. Are you following this one or not? D is at, hence D and F must be in the last two places. As D and F are in the last two places, then coming to this one. And C is seated to the immediate left of A. But both are not facing the same direction as circle. And C is third to the left of G, and one of them at the ends of the straight line. As C is third to the left of G, one of them is at the ends of the straight line is not possible because F is already at the end. And G cannot be at the left end because there are two persons, at least three persons to the left of G. Hence, who will be at the left end here? G must be at the left. If G is at the left end, two blanks were there, then G is here. If G is here, B will be here. Done with this? Now we are concentrating only on straight line. Why it was so? Because the persons who are seated in a straight line are facing towards the north, and that's what the advantage we have. C is to the immediate left of A, and C is to the immediate left of A whom? C is seated to the immediate left of A. C is to the immediate left of A, but both are not facing the same direction as circle, and is seated third to the left of A, and one of them seated at the ends. Only one person is in between D and B in a straight line. Between D and B, there is one person. That information is not required, we got that arrangement. In a straight line, and they are facing each other in a circle. H is sitting second to the left of F. H is seated second to the left of F in both the cases. That means H will be here. If H is here, then who is the person left over here? A, B, and E is the person left over. And this is what? And A is not an immediate neighbor of D in a straight line. A and E are not immediate neighbors. Hence, we have finalized the seating arrangement in the case of a row arrangement. Then coming to this circle. Now in this circle, now let us start with this one. A is not immediate neighbor of D. Again from the starting, because we have taken from the center. We have picked out only the information which is related to the row arrangement. F is sitting third to the right of the one who is seated second to the left of B in a circle. F is seated third to the right of the one, okay, and B. F is sitting third to the right of the one who is seated second to the left of B. Now second to the left of B. Now if you take B at this place, if you take B at this place, F is seated third to the right of the one who is seated second to the left of B. Now second to the left of B, if you take this person, then B is facing the center, isn't it? Though there is a second possibility wherein B can be away from the center, we can look out outwards. Now as of now, if B is here facing towards the center, then F is seated third to the right of the one who is seated second to the left of B. Isn't it? Second to the left of B and third to the right of this person. Third to the right of this person, who is that person? F. F will be here. And this person must also be facing the center. Why I am fixing this one? Because only three persons are away from the center and the remaining persons are towards the center. Isn't it? And ends of the line. G is sitting second to the right. Earlier we have one information. H is sitting second to the left of F in both the cases. H is seated second to the left of F in both the cases. If F is here, H will be here. And two persons are opposite to each other. Last and they are facing each other. D and B are facing each other. As D and B are facing each other in circle, D and B in a straight line, and they are facing each other in a, as D and B are in a straight line, hence D must also facing each other. Facing each other means this person must also be facing the center. H is seated second to the left of F. H is seated second to the left of F, and F is inside and not facing the same direction. In both the cases, and not facing the same direction. And isn't it? And H is facing outside. H is not facing the same direction as F. H is seated second to the left of E and not facing the same direction. B is seated second to the right of E. Now this B is seated second to the right of E. Hence where should this E? Can you take E at this place or not? Okay, or E can be here. If this person is away, E can be here. Towards the center, E can be here. There are two possible. And B is sitting second to the right of E in both the cases and facing the same direction. Isn't it? And facing the same direction means B is facing the same direction, E must also face the same direction. E here is ruled out. Done with this? And facing the same direction but not seated, and A is not an immediate neighbor of D in a statement. And this is what the information we have as of now. Then let us have a glance to the entire information from the beginning. F is sitting third to the right of the one who is seated second to the left of B. Second to the left of B in a circle and sitting in a straight line. G is seated second to the right of the one who is sitting to the immediate left of D. And he is seated second. Now whatever this D, DA, G is. Now where should this G? Now this G is sitting second to the right of the one who is to the immediate left of D. G is immediate left of D is this person, and as this person is here, now this G is seated second to the right of this person. Second to the right of this person, G must be here. Hence this person must be facing towards the center. If this person is facing towards the center, the remaining persons must be away from the center. Isn't it? Remaining are away. And he is seated second to the left of the one who is sitting immediate right of B in a circle and straight line respectively. C is third to the left of G who is to the immediate left of E in a straight line and circle respectively. Now, C is third to the left of G. C is third to the left of G is what? And G is third to the left of G and this one. And C is seated third to the left of G. G who is seated to the immediate left of E. G is to the immediate left of D in a straight line and circle respectively. D is sitting to the immediate right of the one who is seated second to the left of F, but not in circle. And C is to the immediate left of A. C is to the immediate left of A, but both are not facing the same direction in a circle. And C is to the immediate left of A, and both are not facing the same direction. Hence one is inward and one is outward. Now finally we are left with what? Finally we are left with C and A. Now tell me whether C can be at this place or not. If C is here, then A will be here. If C is here and C is to the immediate left of A is immediate left of A, but both are not facing the same direction. C and A are not facing the same direction, isn't it? C is to the immediate left of A or not? Yes. But both are not facing the same direction as circle, and is seated third to the left of G. And C is third to the left of G, and one of them seated at the ends. Only one person between D and B. Only one person between D and E. D is seated to the immediate right of the one who is seated second but not in the circle. C is to the immediate left of here, but both are. And one of them seated at the ends of the straight line. Only one person seated between D and B in a straight line. Between D and B, one person, and they are facing each other in a circle. H is seated second to the left of F in both the cases and facing the same direction. And B is seated second to the right of E in both the cases. B is seated second to the right of E in both the cases and facing the same direction but not, and A is not an immediate neighbor of D in a straight line. Hence what is the answer here? And the order is C and A, isn't it? C is seated to the immediate left of A, but both are not facing the C is to the immediate left of A, but both are not facing the same direction, isn't it? Hence, CRA can be either at this place or at this place, isn't it? Two cases. We cannot able to find that. If A is here, C is to the immediate left, or if C is here and this person is immediately. Now, sir, C is seated out to the left. C is seated to the immediate left of A. Hence, A or C can be in any order. G third left C unda? On the straight line. G is third to the left of C, straight line. Yes? Any specific information regarding this A and C? Done? A is not? Saripindi kada? And this is about 23 to 27. Then question numbers 28 to 30. Yes, tell me what are the answers. Strong and weak arguments. Today in the classroom we had discussed about the strong and weak arguments for the batches. And what are those two batches? In room number 5 today 10 o'clock we had discussed about the strong and weak arguments. Yes, any person from this one? From those two batches? Then question number 28. Every college that promote partnership. 28. Every college that promotes what? That promote partnerships. Every college that promote partnership that will increase parental involvement and for the growth of students. Every college that promote partnerships that will increase parental involvement and for the growth of students. Then argument. For the growth of students, parents should be involved in various college activities, isn't it? Now, sir, what is the statement here? The statement here, the involvement of parents should be there for the growth of students. Now, in this one, for the growth of students, parents should be involved in various college activities. Stop. And involvement of parents in college has no influence, whether there is influence or not. Here is clearly given there is an influence for the growth. They will grow because of what? Because of parental influence. Hence here, no influence, that is not strong. Then what is your answer here? Only argument 1 is strong. 28, choice 1. Then 29. Now in this question number 29, aggressive criminals. Aggressive criminals can be trained with care and affection to behave as the occasion demand. As the occasion demand means behaving properly. Now these aggressive criminals can also be molded. By what? By care and affection. And trained criminals cannot be aggressive. Is he talking about anything regarding these trained criminals? He is talking about what? Aggressive criminals can be trained and no information about the trained criminals. Criminals are always aggressive. Is it true? Now some of the criminals can be aggressive, but whereas not all. Hence neither 1 nor 2, choice 4. Neither 1 is strong, nor 2 is strong. Now these two straight away ruled out because of some of the key terms. The next one. Question number 30. Now in this question number 30, self-managing people control their first impulses for action and delay premature conclusions. Self-managing people controls their first impulses, very immediate reactions. They will control that immediate reactions for action and delay premature conclusions. And before giving the conclusions, they will not reveal anything on their face. No expressions in this one. They can able to control their feelings. And self-managing people do not take actions without thinking, isn't it? Hence, unless and otherwise an action is there, then only they will react to that one. And without that one, they will not react. First one. Then what is the second one here? Instant conclusions are taken by self-managing people? No. And instant conclusions will not be taken by them. Hence, what is your answer? Only one is strong, choice one. Done with this? Then question numbers 31 to 35. Now in this question numbers 31 to 35, how many persons are there? There are 7 persons. And who are those 7 persons here? CA, C, A, G, E, CAGE, B, F and D. CAGE, B, F and D in a family, 4 of them are males and there are 3 generations. How many generations do we have? We have some 3 generations. And among these, and 4 of them are males and 3 are females. 4 males and 3 females are there among these 7 persons. Then what is the first information? Now the first information is, and everyone belongs to different age groups. Age groups are also clearly given. And C is the father of G. Whatever this C is the father of G. As C is the father of G, how to represent this one? C is the father of G can be represented like this. C is the father of G and he is eldest in the family. Eldest in the family means this C comes into the first generation. C is the father of G and he is eldest in the family. E is the sister-in-law of B. As E is the sister-in-law of B, this E and B will come into the second generation. Isn't it? E is the sister-in-law of B. Sister-in-law of B. E is the sister-in-law of B and she invests 2 lakh in one scheme. And who invested 2 lakhs? E invested 2 lakhs. Now their amount is how much? And 2 lakhs. And who is that person? E. And whatever this one, male or female? Sister-in-law. Sister-in-law means this person is a female. E is the sister-in-law of B and she invests 2 lakh in one scheme. D is the brother-in-law of G. D is the brother-in-law of G. Brother-in-law of G means now D is the brother-in-law of G. That means D is the brother-in-law of G. Now this G is brother-in-law. What are the different possibilities to this brother-in-law? Tell me. Brother-in-law and Japan. Now brother-in-law could be, now this G's wife's brother, isn't it? G's wife's brother. G's wife's brother. Now there is no space here. I am adjusting here. And C is the father of G. We have taken that information. C is the father of G. And G is here. And brother-in-law. Brother-in-law means G's wife's brother. Who is that person? D. D is the brother. This is one point. Or what is the other possibility here? G's sister's husband. Second possibility. Isn't it? There are 2 possibilities. One is spouse's brother or sister's husband. There are 2. D is the brother-in-law of G and he invested 1 lakh. And D invested how much? This D invested 1 lakh. As D invested how much? D is the brother-in-law of G and invest in L. And this invested in L, now there were schemes. Now this D invested in what? D invested in L. And next one. The person who invests the highest amount is the grandmother of F. Grandmother of F. Now F comes into the 3rd gender. Isn't it? Next, grandmother of F. F can be here or D's child or someone else's child. And this person grandmother. The person is the highest, is the grandmother of F. G is the brother of E. Now G is the brother of E. As G is the brother of E, G is the brother of E. As G is the brother of E, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. As 1, 2, 3, 4, G is the brother of E. 5, 6 were done. And G and one more person is there, 7. Why one more person? Tell me. Because the grandmother is there. Hence, how many females we have? As of now, we have two females. Then whatever the gender of this F, and F is the nephew of D. as F is the nephew of D, S. D's sister's son is F. F is the nephew of D. F is a male. F is a male. And G is the brother of E. G is the brother of E, and he invests in scheme, H scheme. And this G invested in which scheme? G invested in scheme H. F is the nephew of D, and he is 15-year-old. F is the nephew of D, and his age is what? His age is 15-year-old. B invests in M scheme. B invests in M scheme, and C is the daughter-in-law of A. And this B is the daughter-in-law of whom? B is the daughter-in-law of A. As B is the daughter-in-law of A, hence whatever this one, B is the daughter-in-law of A, this B must be here. Are you agreeing this one or not? Son's wife. And this B is the daughter-in-law of A must be here. And who is this person? Grandmother. A is the grandmother. As A is the grandmother, this person invested the maximum amount. And what is that amount here? 6.5 lakh. Now how many persons were done? Now we are done with 7 persons. Now among these 7, and as of now we are having only 2 females. E is one and B is the other. And E, whatever this, E is male or female? E is a sister-in-law. E is a female. As E is a female, 3 females were done. All the remaining persons must be males. All the remaining are males. Because 3 males and 4 males and 3 females. And this person is a male. Then B invests in M scheme, and C is the daughter-in-law of A. Grandfather of F invests 2.5. Who is that grandfather? C. And C invested how much? 2.5. C invested 2.5 lakh. And he did not invest in I and J. And this person did not invest in I and J. I, J, H, M, L ruled out, 5 are ruled out. Now he was left with only 2 more. Youngest person of the family invested 2.3. And who is that person here? In I. Youngest family. And the youngest family is F. And who is the other person here? There are 2 persons, A, B, C, D, E. And whatever this F, F, G, only 7 persons fine. Youngest person means who is the youngest person here? F. And this F invested how much? 2.3 lakh. F invested 2.3 lakh. And he did not invest in I and Z. I and Z he also ruled out. I and Z cannot be here. I and Z cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here. And what are the possibilities for this I and Z? If I is here, J will be here. Or if I is here, J will be here. And so how many possibilities? Only 2 possibilities for this I and Z. Youngest person in I. Yes, fine. L in I. Youngest person is, now youngest person of the person family invested 2.3 lakh, sorry, in I. 2.3 lakh in L. That L is different and this is I. Now this I will be here. As this I is youngest person. Youngest person, who is that youngest person? F. Now this F invested how much? 2.3 in I. As this F invested 2.3 in I, then okay, now C is the father of G and is the eldest in the family. E is the sister-in-law of B and she invested 2 lakh. E is the sister-in-law 2 lakhs in one scheme, and D is the brother-in-law of G and he invested in L. D invested in L. D invested in L, that is there. D invested in L. Then now I and J. As I and J, J cannot be here and J cannot be here. And G, the person who invested highest amount is the grandmother, and G is the brother of E and invested in H. F is the nephew of D and 15 years old, and B invested in scheme M, B in scheme M, and C is the daughter-in-law of A. Grandfather of F invested 2.5, that is C invested 2.5 and he did not invest in I and J. Youngest person of the family invested 2.3 lakh in I. The person who invests 3.5 lakhs has the age of 26. 3.5 is 26. Now this 3.5 could be either B or G. Now this B or G can be 26-year-old. And 26 can be either this person, isn't it? And B or E. Now the person who has invested 3.5. Hence B or E can be 3.5. Youngest person of the family, the person who invested 3.5 at the age of 26. Either this person can be 26 or this person can be 26. The remaining persons cannot be 26. And daughter of A invested in K. Daughter of A, who is that person? Daughter of A is E. Daughter of A is E. E invested in K. As E invested in K, E is here and this is K. E invested in K. Daughter of A invested in K, and A is the second eldest in the family and invest in J. A invested in what? A invested in J. As A invested in J, then what is left over here? And the schemes N. N is left over, N will be here. And invest in J. Brother-in-law of D invest 2.25. D's brother-in-law, that is G, invested 2.25. As this G invested 2.25, earlier 3.5 lakh is 26-year-old and this person must be 3.5 B and this person is how many years old? 26-year-old. And 2.5, 6.5, 2.25, 2 lakh, 3.5, 2.3 were done. As what is left out in this one? 2.7. Now this must be 2.7 lakh. And he is the fifth youngest in the family. Who is the fifth youngest in the family? Tell me. Brother-in-law of D. He is the fifth youngest in the family. Brother-in-law of D, who is the brother-in-law of D? G is the fifth youngest in the family. Fifth youngest, then count youngest. First youngest, and second youngest, third youngest, fourth youngest, and fifth youngest. And this person G is how many year old? G is 30-year-old. G is 30-year-old, fifth youngest. And he is fifth youngest in the family. F's aunt has less age compared to his grandmother's daughter-in-law. Grandmother's daughter-in-law. F's grandmother is A, A's daughter-in-law is B, and F is A's daughter-in-law, who is that person? B. And now F's aunt, who is that person? F's aunt is E. Now this E is F's aunt is E. E's has less when compared to his grandmother's daughter-in-law. Grandmother's daughter-in-law is B. Hence E is lesser than B. As E is lesser than B, E and B. Now B is 26. E is lesser than this one. When below this 26, what are the things left over here? 23 or 15. Out of which 15 is already done. Hence the age of E must be how much? 23. And this person is 23-year-old. Isn't it? As this person E is 23-year-old, next one. And A is the second eldest. Where it is given here? A is the second eldest? No. 2.25 is the fifth youngest. And F's aunt has less when compared to his grandmother's daughter-in-law, and also G's brother-in-law. And also G's brother. And D's brother-in-law's wife. D's brother-in-law's wife. D's brother-in-law's wife is B. Isn't it? D's brother-in-law's wife. D's brother-in-law's wife has less age than G's brother-in-law. That means this B is lesser than this D. As this B is lesser than this D, now B and D. B is lesser than this D, hence this D. What is the age of this D? This D must be 28. 28. Then B invested more amount than her husband's brother-in-law. Yes, any information regarding this A and C? A is second eldest. As A is second eldest, that is clearly given. Second eldest, what is the age left over here? 49. If this person is 49 and this person is 55. Now this is about question numbers 31 to 35. Yes, write down this final arrangement. C, A, G, B, isn't it? C, A, G, B, E, F, D. E, B, F, D. And 2.5, 6.5, 2.25, 3.5, 2 lakh, 2.3 and 2.7. And what is order here? N, J, H, K, M, I, L. And the ages 55, 49, 30 and 23, 26, 15 and 28. As done with this, and this is about now cell. In today's paper, most of these questions are based on blood relations only. Blood relation with circular arrangements. As done with this, now this is about paper number 30, and there is no quant session for today, and this is the last session for today.